Good evening, all. Welcome to RSSDI Diabetes Bytes. It's all in your mind, they say, or it's all in your hands. But for everyone living with diabetes, it's probably all in the feet. Diabetic foot disease is one of the most dreaded complications of diabetes, and long-standing diabetes and uncontrolled diabetes making it much worse. However, there are very small, minor preventable action items or regular foot care that can actually prevent these dreaded complications, and all experts will unanimously agree that prevention is far better than healing, which is definitely better than amputation or compromise on the quality of life. We have a very successful campaign called Save the Feet and Keep Walking going on from under the auspices of RSSDI at the moment across the nation. And we will definitely update you about that. But before that, let me welcome our very special guest for this evening. May I welcome Dr. Mariam Botros from Canada. She's the CEO of Wounds International Canada and the Vice President of DFoot International. Welcome, ma'am, to the RSSDI Diabetes Bytes. It's indeed a pleasure and an honor to have you with us.
Pleasure to be.
I also welcome Dr. Vijay Vishwanathan, sir, who needs no introduction to this familiar audience because Dr. Vishwanathan is the Vice President of RSSDI and the President of DFoot International. Welcome, sir, and thank you once again for sparing your time for this wonderful campaign and initiative. We are looking forward to more interaction with you today.
Thank you, Dr. Purvi.
We have none other than Dr. Amit Gupta, who is not only an integral part of the social media team, but also the executive committee member of RSSDI and the coordinator for Save the Feet and Keep Walking campaign. Welcome, Amit. It's a great pleasure to have you with us as you are involved in so many initiatives that I'm glad you're here today.
Thank you, Dr. Purvi. Thank you.
So without much ado, I welcome Dr. Vishwanathan, and I would like sir to just give us some introduction to the campaign and the progress so far.
So diabetic foot is one of the most neglected and most expensive of all the complications due to diabetes. So that's why RSSDI decided to take up this campaign. Can you hear me, Purvi? Yeah. So we took up this project called Save the Feet and Keep Walking campaign. We have an ambitious plan in mind. We want to screen 100,000 people with diabetes across India in all these states. So we have started this campaign on July 10th and we go on for a month till August 10th. And we want every diabetologist, physician, whether he's a member of the RSDA or not a member, to examine the feet. And we're collecting the data. We're collecting the data from 100,000 people, and which is going to be published. So we're using the Sims-Winstein monofilament to examine the feet for loss of protective sensation. So we'll know what percentage of people in India have loss of protective sensation. So we'll have a lot of data coming out, research data coming out of this campaign. And most importantly, it will improve the awareness about diabetic on the foot, and it will help our mission of preventing amputation, lower limb amputations among people with diabetes. So this is the objective of the campaign. Thank you, Dr. Puri.
Thank you so much, sir, for highlighting why this is so necessary, and also the fact that it's not only a public health initiative to prevent further complications in people with diabetes, but also a great research project. With that, I would like to request Dr. Mariam to tell us a little bit about Wounds International and the aims and the further progress with Wounds International, and what can we offer our patients with diabetes today.
Thank you so much. So Wounds Canada, we are a not-for-profit, an NGO. is dedicated to advancing the prevention and management of all wounds, including diabetic foot wounds. It's really an honor to work with the Foot International, which is the leading global association in advancing the prevention and management of diabetic foot complications. So this is how we intersect. Part of our mandate as an organization is limb preservation in Canada. And so that's the work that we do locally. Uh, Looking after your diabetes feet and daily foot examination is really key to preventing amputations and hospitalizations. It is part of we know through science that when you examine your feet daily, you are able to pick up small changes that could be a precursor for you to go to the doctor and inform them that there is a problem. We know that many people living with diabetes, they have loss of protective sensation. So that daily foot examination that they will do for themselves can help them to detect small injuries, infections that are brewing. All of these are things that they can see. They can see if there is a problem in one of their nails, it's thickened and causing injury to the skin. They're able to pick up things like a skin sore, a breakdown in the skin, or otherwise known as an ulcer. They're able to detect things like early inflammation. And then, as part of it as well, it's really important that people with diabetes examine their shoes. I always say if I gained the money I collected from patients' shoes, I would be a millionaire today. People with diabetes drop a lot of objects within their shoes, which could be a culprit for injury. So, part of their daily foot examination, they should also be examining the shoe and making sure there isn't any foreign objects that could harm them and cause secondary tissue breakdown. And I'll end with a quote from my colleague, Dr. David Armstrong: time is tissue. So when you detect these injuries really early on, you can really prevent ulcers, infections, hospitalizations, and possible amputations.
That's a great introduction to foot care, and thank you so much for that comment. Amit, I request you to pitch in.
Amit can speak in
Thank you,
Hindi.
Dr. Purvi. And I think it is a very good discussion which has started just now. So I would like to ask Dr. Vijay Vishwanathan that how do people with diabetes they detect warning signs, and what are the warning signs they should watch for?
Yeah, so I think one of the main reasons for
So your audio is having some problem. You unmute yourself, sir.
yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Yeah. So I think one of the main reasons for lower limb amputation in India, at least, is late referral. People have no sensation in their feet. So what happens is when they get an injury, they go to the concerned specialist or physician or surgeon very late. So it is very important to report at the right time. So that is why the warning signs, what you ask, Amit, are very important. The warning signs are, I think, if you have swelling in the feet or change in color of the feet, you're looking at the feet every day. So if there's a swelling, you will find out. If there's a change in color, you will find out. So, and if there is something yellow, it could mean pus there. Or if you find any change in the color, the toes are becoming little blackish discoloration, then this is a warning sign. So swelling, change in color, these are some of the pointing pus is very, very important warning signs. And don't expect pain because you don't have pain sensation. So don't expect pain. So you should go early to the physician or surgeon or a family physician and ask them whether these warning signs are to be taken seriously. So, Dr. Amit, can you translate it in Hindi or Purvi?
सर आपने अच्छा बताया और हम उसको हिंदी में, जैसे आपने मुझसे रिक्वेस्ट किया, तो हम हिंदी में भी अपने लोगों को बताना चाहेंगे कि फुट केयर जो है वो एक हम उसको ध्यान नहीं देते हैं या ध्यान नहीं दे पाते हैं, और अक्सर बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि कुछ अर्ली चीजें होती हैं जो अगर हम ध्यान दें तो शायद हम अपने फुट को बचा सकते हैं। तो फुट को बचाने के लिए अगर आपको लगता है कि आपके फुट में कहीं पे कोई कोन बन गया है, कहीं से फुट आपका हार्डनिंग हो रही है, कुछ उसमें फिशर्स बन गए हैं, कुछ उसमें कट्स लग रहे हैं, स्किन आपकी ड्राई हो रही है, रफ हो रही है, आपके नेल्स जो है वो बड़े हो रहे हैं, उनका कलर चेंज हो रहा है, आपके टोज के बीच में, अंगूठों के और उंगलियों के बीच में, आपकी पैर की उंगलियों के बीच में अगर कुछ आपको सफेद स्पॉट्स दिखाई देते हैं, सफेद दाग दिखाई देते हैं, तो ये सब आपको इन्फेक्शन का इंडिकेशन दे सकते हैं, और ये सब ये बता सकते हैं कि आपको कहीं ना कहीं डायबिटीज के कारण से फुट में समस्या हो रही है। तो ऐसा जब भी हो, और एक बहुत जरूरी है कि जब भी आप अपने डायबिटीज केयर टीम के पास जाएं तो आप उनको अपने फुट के बारे में जरूर बताएं और फुट एग्जामिनेशन के बारे में रिक्वेस्ट करें। डॉक्टर पूर्वी, नाउ आई थिंक यू कैन टेक ओवर फ्रॉम हियर। थैंक यू।
Sure, thank you, Amit. Dr. Mariam, what are the latest developments? I know that sometimes, we are living in a very diverse region where there are haves and have-nots. But and we know that sometimes in the rural parts of India, even access to basic clinics and basic healthcare is very compromised. But we'd like to know from you, as to the advancements or what is the latest in the wound development, or in the wound care that has come up, and what can we offer next to our patients?
Thank you. So the science of wound care is certainly a growing field in both diagnosis and treatment. Over the last several years, we've seen a huge surge in a lot of the different products, whether diagnostics and treatments. Things that support early detection of vascular compromise, infections, and pressure on the feet, as well as wound healing products. And these wound healing products certainly have a large array from dressings, therapy devices, biologics, and other health technologies that are related to e-technology. So there is a vast variety, but really, as you mentioned, the key goes back to the core basics. We need to maintain a healthy lifestyle and manage, as patients, our blood glucose levels, and work with our diabetes and wound care team very closely. Patients need to be vigilant about keeping their affected foot dry, clean, covered, and protected at all the time, irregardless of the dressing that they have. They need, as we talked about earlier, to conduct that daily foot exam for both feet. So, as Dr. Vijay mentioned, it's not only the affected limb that you want to examine, but the contralateral limb. You want to be picking up early signs of complications on both feet. We want to keep the pressure off, and that's a big challenge for us. Irregardless, again, of what the technology is, keeping the pressure off is really key to healing wounds. So wearing the devices that are recommended by your healthcare team. The other thing that we've seen is making sure that if I'm a patient, that I'm being very adherent to both my glycemic and infection related medications that are prescribed to me by my team. And really, as patients, we need to know that we are part of a team, and we take on our own foot and wound care health into our hands and work as part of that team collaboratively. And last, the thing that from my own clinical experience is it's really important, if I'm a patient, not to be paralyzed by fear or shame, that you've developed that wound. It's really important. You have a great supportive team. They're great clinicians, and science has really advanced to help heal those wounds and prevent the amputations. So if you work alongside of your team, the likelihood of you saving that limb is really high.
Thank you, Mariam. Mariam was the director of Diabetic Foot Canada from 2011 to 2015, if I'm right. And currently, she's the vice president of DFoot International and also the CEO of Wounds Canada. So, see, in India, what happens is we do have a lot of technologies, which you see in the United States or Canada. We have the negative pressure wound therapy, back therapy, for the last 10 years now in India. So we use it in people who have good blood circulation and to facilitate healing. We have all the gadgets available to make a diagnosis of high risk feet. We have we have modern dressings from all the companies. There are still surgeons who believe saline dressings are good, but we do have dressings from all the companies like Urgo and so on who have these moist wound dressing. So we have everything in India. So only thing the patient must reach the doctor very early. That's the main point. They allow the infection to spread beyond the ankle and then they go to the doctor because they have no sensation in their feet. So I think, Amit, I've told about the warning signs. So what are the foot examination in Hindi, if you can tell people, how do they examine their feet at home? Because
Uh,
can you tell me how examine?
Yes, sir. So foot examination, as you have already pointed out, sir, the journey of diabetic foot, which I learned from one of the program which I attended for the Deep Foot International, actually began in India only, and almost 100 years ago. And a lot of development happened in India, and now the foot care is actually improving in India. The only the drawback is that the sir rightly pointed out that now we need to reach out to the patient, and the patients they need to reach out to us because it is something which we don't often talk about and which we don't often check. So if that is something which is taken care of, then the diabetes care will improve dramatically in our country. Also, as you asked, sir, so people with diabetes they should be doing two three things regularly. They should always examine their feet whenever they have a chance, at least once a day. They should look for. They should properly see between the toe spaces. Is there any kind of if they find there is any infection or something like that, they should report it to their doctors. Also, if they develop any kind of bone calluses or something like that, or they are having some fungal nail infection, again, they should not neglect it and they should always point it to the doctors. One of the simple thing is that they can always use a mirror, which is, and they can see their feet in the mirror so that they are able to look at the plantar aspect of the feet also. So these are the certain things. Otherwise, if they notice any kind of redness, any kind of swelling, any kind of deformity if they notice and if they find there is a change in the shape of the foot. So again, these are the warning signs which can tell them that there is something wrong with the foot. So, sir, I would like to ask you one thing. I think this is the right time for the RSSDI to you as the president of the DFoot International, and we have very esteemed guest with us as the vice president. And in the 50th year, that is the golden jubilee year of the RSSDI, this campaign has been launched. So, we would be interested in knowing more about that, how far this campaign has gone, and what are the achievements we have achieved so far.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Amit. Before I answer that question, can I add 2 points to what you said? The foot examination. So the patient should report if there are symptoms of neuropathy. Supposing there's numbness, burning sensation, pricking sensation, he should not ignore those symptoms. Secondly, claudication. The patient has pain in the calf muscles while walking, especially if he's a smoker. He should report this matter to his physician because peripheral arterial disease is largely undiagnosed in many countries like India. Now, having said that, coming to your question, I think the program has been very successful. We have more than 7,000 doctors who have enrolled and examine the feet of people and enter the data using our digital format which we have given them in a link, and every state has started examining. And I think the campaign so far has been very successful, thanks to Dr. Purvi, who has been having these diabetes bites every day in different languages. So I think the campaign is picking up, and in the last 16 days or so, we expect more people to get screened and the figure to be reached. So I think we have to motivate more people, and this data is going to be the first time, though, as I told before. I think nowhere in the world they've attempted such a campaign of examining the feet of 100,000 patients with diabetes. So I think we will have fantastic data which the world needs. World needs data from the low and middle income countries. So thank you, Amit.
I think, sir, the registration of 7,000 doctors in itself is a big achievement, and that clearly
Yes.
shows that so many thousands of doctors are interested in foot care in India. So the number that certainly, sir, we are going to achieve that. But the bigger goal has already been achieved, and I must congratulate you because you have been working very hard for almost 6 months on this project, designing so many things. Sir, many congratulations to you, sir.
Absolutely second Amit here. So just for the audience, I just want to tell them that कि अगर आप सोच रहे हैं कि भारत में रह के आपको सभी चीज़ों इधर मिलेगी नहीं, तो वो गलत है, क्योंकि आज डॉक्टर विश्वनाथन और डॉक्टर मरियम दोनों का कहना यही है कि बहुत अच्छे अच्छे उपकरण आ गए हैं भारत में भी, ना केवल डायबिटिक फुट डिजीज के लिए, पैरों के लिए वो निदान करने के लिए भी है और उनका इलाज करने के लिए भी हमारे पास अच्छी ड्रेसिंग मटेरियल्स भी आ गए हैं और उपकरण भी है, जिससे पैरों में दबाव ना रहे और प्रेशर हम उनमें से निकाल सके। तो उसमें चिंता करने की बात नहीं है, लेकिन सही समय पे आपको विशेषज्ञ या डॉक्टर के पास जाना बहुत जरूरी है। यही सभी हमारे विशेषज्ञों का कहना है कि आप सही समय पे पहचानिए ये चिन्ह जो बता रहे हैं, और डॉक्टर से सलाह लीजिए और उनको बताइए अपनी तकलीफ और दिखाइए, ताकि आप बहुत समय में ही अपना इलाज शुरू कर सके और आगे वो नौबत ना आए कि उसका वो एम्पुटेशन तक बात ना पहुंचे। तो इसी श्रृंखला को आगे बढ़ाते हुए so Dr. Mariam, with your vast experience even on the international front, and I know that social media is leveraged upon very well, even in the countries that have advanced so much. But what would your advice be to us to improve the awareness of not only basic foot examination and foot care, but also to give more momentum to our campaign that's going on? And we just heard the very impressive numbers, both in terms of registrations as well as in terms of examinations. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think so far it's truly an impressive campaign, the achievements that you have achieved. In fact, I'm really jealous. I don't think we would have gotten those numbers in Canada. So first of all, congratulations. But I think the path that you're taking is excellent, leveraging media, all sorts of media, whether it's social media, whether it's general media, whether it's newspapers. Continue to drive forward, because this is the source of information that many of our public members access. And I think the more you talk to the patients, in our experience, that informed and activated public member will activate and go and request their physician conduct the foot examination. So activating your public members is huge, and leveraging the media to do it is excellent. Plus also empowering your frontline healthcare clinicians to know how to conduct a diabetic foot exam is also the other piece. And then as well, within re-enumerating the physicians for conducting the foot examination, whether it's through your health systems, ministries of health, or insurance plans. So those all are activities that obviously you are doing, and you're on the right path, and those are the path to continue to go on. The other thing that we've done in the past is also peer support sessions. So patients teaching other patients how to conduct that daily foot exam. Those can be really powerful if they're rolled out within the different jurisdictions. They empower patients, they help them to overcome some of the barriers that could form between them and healthcare professionals, and they motivate each other. So you can tap in through their intrinsic motivation to conduct the daily foot exam and to overcome some of the fears and possible barriers to accessing healthcare.
If I can add to what Mariam said, I think in India especially, a lot of importance is given to this peer group, what she was mentioning. So if one patient has a foot problem, and if that patient says, I got this problem because of walking barefoot in the beach, then or in the temple, then that other patient will listen to this patient. So I think it's very important to help people to come together, people who have similar problems. So I think it's a very important point which Mariam Botros has told us today. And I think we should encourage one patient to interact. Same thing with insulin. One patient is taking insulin. That patient can tell the other patient, I'm taking insulin for the last 20 years and nothing has happened. But because when you talk about insulin to somebody, they're very scared to start insulin. So I think if you have this peer group approach, what Mariam Botros has said, I think it will go a long way in spreading awareness among the patient community. And it will, social media, of course, doctors talking about it is good, but peer group sessions are very good. So thank you, Mariam, for the wonderful point.
Thank you so much for those excellent insights from both of you. Amit, do you want to ask anything further?
I would just like to tell Dr. Mariam here that with Professor Vijay Vishwanathan there and you being around, I don't see that in near future we may soon be seeing the international version of this campaign. So this can be a global campaign also. So I don't see any problem with that. So I hope it builds up into an international campaign.
If I can just add the DFoot International, one sentence about DFoot International, now that we're talking about it. The DFoot International is based in Belgium, and Mariam is one of the vice presidents, and I'm the president. I was the third president after two Europeans. So after two Europeans, I took over as president. And we have another vice president from Greece, and we have in the board people from Brazil, Malaysia, and from Greece also, yeah, and Mariam, of course, and Africa, Tanzania, who's an ex-president. So we are trying to spread our wings in 7 regions of the world. We are going to Latin America, we are going to Western Pacific, and in January or February beginning, we might be having a meeting in India for the Indian physicians by DFoot International. So I think we wish the campaign by RSDA will throw light on what is happening in India. And this is applicable to what is happening in India is applicable to many other developing countries like Brazil or Indonesia or Malaysia. So I think the campaign which you have also helped to, and Dr. Purvi has helped, and all the office bearers, the president, president-elect, the immediate past president, Dr. Banshi Sabu, secretariat of RSDA, they've all played a major role in making this campaign successful. And I'd like to thank all the top office bearers of RSDA for taking this campaign forward. And we hope to reach our target by August 10th and analyze the data after that. Thank you.
Absolutely wonderful words. I think the global collaboration is really going to go a long way. And under your leadership, sir, I think this campaign has already taken off on the right foot, and it's spreading its wings across India. So I'm sure that with your words, more and more physicians are going to be motivated to become a part of it. And this campaign is open to all you audience. So definitely log in. It's very simple. Just visit our website www.rssdi.in, and in a very simple manner you can register. You will get the monofilaments delivered to your clinic at the earliest. You can reach out to any of us also if there's any problem, and just get going with this campaign. Wonderful insights from you, Dr. Mariam, also. Just any last few words of wisdom? I just loved your quote, that time is tissue, but anything else for our audience or for any of us that you would like to say?
I think the message that was highlighted in this program was excellent. An ounce of prevention is better than cure. Detect the problems early, seek help immediately, and you can keep your feet for your lifetime.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Amit, would you like to have a message for everybody?
I would just like to give a message to the audience. If you are a person living with diabetes or anybody in your family is having diabetes, then please don't hesitate in asking your healthcare providers to examine your feet. So next time, whenever you visit them, do ask them about the fit examination.
Great, very, very practical message indeed. So with that, we come to the end of our RSSDI Diabetes Bytes today. And on behalf of our National President, Dr. Vasant Kumar Sir, our National Secretary, Dr. Sanjay Agarwal Sir, the entire Executive Committee, we have, two members here itself. And on behalf of the RSSDI social media team, we are extremely thankful and grateful to Dr. Mariam, who's traveling currently and has yet spared her time to make it, to Diabetes Bytes at this time for all of you. So thank you very much, ma'am. And we look forward to more interaction with you. And very thankful to Dr. Vijay Vishwanathan sir as well for giving this momentum for the push and all the helpful tips. I feel like every time we listen to you, we learn something new. And again, once again, thank you very much, Amit. You are pretty much the energy driver, and keep at it. We need that. So thank you very much, and it was a very interesting session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.